Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am the Drunken Goth, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the strip down and rebuild of the gearbox on the Ferrari 330 GT. So as always, we start with the removal of the gearbox from the car. The ones pictured above are a little bit easier to show as it was during a restoration of the entire car, so we see the engine out of the way, and it was a lot easier to drop the gearbox out of the way, obviously, once everything else was out of the way. As far as mountings, there are two rubber mountings at the rear, and then the gearbox is mainly supported by the bell housing at the front and the torque tube or prop shaft at the rear. Now once it's out of the car, as you can see here, we begin the process of strip down. So we start off by taking off the inspection panels and obviously these little indent springs with ball bearings at the bottom which locate into the selector shafts, and obviously there we have the end of those shafts which connects to the gear lever. Once that's out of the way, we take this back piece off, which as you can see in here, which is the overdrive unit, and we basically just start stripping everything down. So as you can see, once that piece is out of the way, that piece more or less comes off in one piece at the back with the planet gears and the outer gear obviously there. That is one piece completely out of the way. Then we move on to the rest of the box. So the 330 gearbox is built up of various sections containing various things, like obviously the bell housing here, you've got the main gears, the main and lay shafts in the large part of the box, reverse gear in a separate part, and transfer of all of that down to either the prop shaft, torque tube on the very back of the box. You can just see here one of the synchros, and that is one of the main reasons we are stripping down this particular box. That is to change the synchros, as over time the synchros wear down, and that is because basically the synchros are coated with almost like a sandpaper material which helps to grip as they move between the different gears. That sandpaper like material degrades over time and needs to be replaced. Now luckily we don't have to replace the synchros completely. That sandpaper like material can be recoated onto the synchros, so it is a slightly cheaper option than going for a complete new synchro for the various gears that are having problems. Now as you can see, we start stripping down everything, start laying it out so that we know roughly where everything came from. We can start cleaning stuff up as we do that. Obviously a lot of this is very clean as it is, but you can just see here where that material should be a lot coarser than it actually is, and that is the main problem, because that material, as I say, wears down over time as you're using the gear shift. So with this particular box, once we've got the main and lay shafts out of the way, the casings can then be painted up, got back to a original condition, or as close to original as possible. Those synchros then stripped away can be sent away to be recoated with the grippier material, so they're like a lot fresher of a gear shift, and we start reassembling the entire thing. Now obviously I've skipped a lot of the part out with the main shaft and lay shaft being stripped of the gears, and that is because a lot of the time they usually interference fit, which usually has to be done by somebody with a very strong hydraulic press, as the interference fit is very tight. Now during reassembly we always try and use this flange sealant, this orange bead that you can see around it, which just helps seal up any of the leaks inside the box, as especially with the old stuff they can leak quite a lot. But once the whole thing is back together and we start loading it back into the car, as you can see here, then it does look a lot better. New rubber donut on the prop shaft to the rear, and you can see that the general look of the box, it does look very, very good. So once this box is back in the car with those new synchros fitted, it will change gear a lot better and will be as new. Well, that is it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like on it, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye bye.